Good afternoon. This is April for Infm655. The last group project is where we do the vendor go live for this week number 7. And I wanted to just go briefly over the forms that we had to fill out, talk a little bit about how we worked as a team to fill out and complete these forms, and discuss their significance, hopefully. The first one here is the change request form. This basically is just like a form that if they're during the process, I guess prior to go live or during go live, there was some sort of issue that was found that we need to go back to the vendor for, you would complete this form here called the change request form in order to submit that back to the vendor saying, hey, we have an issue with the functionality or some sort of processing that the system is not doing what we had expected it to do, and we need to get this fixed. In my world, on my job, this would be considered like high priority, and that's the reason why we labeled it critical, because this is an issue where with the patient registration, the validation of making sure that the person was not in the system twice or any other things that were that could happen, like duplication or misinformation, it wasn't firing back an edit. So we need to make sure that the vendor puts that program that into the interface and into the what am I trying to say? Into the actual EHR so that it will work according to the way it was expected to work. The next form is the EHR system testing plan. This is just where we go through and detail by several different areas of testing, from unit testing to system testing to integrated testing, and integrating testing in a live environment. And we assign those particular testing initiatives the dates that we need them to be done, and the dates that they were done, I'm sorry, and who was responsible for doing those, and if they passed or failed. Basically, as you can see, all of these passed during the testing phase. So it looks like we were good to go for testing when it was done. Then there is the next form is the Systems Assessment and Care Management Plan. Now this form was a little more involved. We had to actually dive a little bit deeper into EHR system functions, making sure that it poses us different questions to prepare us for the go live. To make sure as the project team that the system is working the way we anticipated to work for this particular provider. As you see to the left, there are a series of 4 questions. We answer yes or no, and we added a brief comment on each one of them, based upon what we thought the system would or would not do. The next one is this is a critical issues tracking log and template. And within our project management plan, there was, we had a setup for issue tracking, quality tracking, things of that nature. So this is just, I guess, a take on that, a little for more elaborate way of keeping track of it. I would imagine that this would be something that through the process of the go live, as you sit there with the client and make sure the system works, that any other things that come up that you didn't catch during the testing phase or would be caught on this form here and sent back to the vendor for immediate fixes on it. Also, see the last form here, let me go back, is the post-go live assessment and next steps. This is where we kind of just like recap lessons learned type of situation for the project that we did. Like our strengths, what we felt were our strengths was team stayed on schedule, managed scope creep, effective communication with the client throughout the project life cycle. The weaknesses or barriers during the EHR implementation was improper assessment of data validation alerts, like I mentioned earlier on the first form where we had to send it back to the vendor to have them to take a look at it. All in all, I found this whole entire project to be an eye-opening experience, of course, for this particular, project management as a whole. I think that these forms that we go through are very useful, and I can see why they would be, because it actually, make you think more about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And also it will, help you to catch things before something happens, hopefully. I don't know if this is always used, if all these forms are always used throughout every project, because I've been on some projects where I pretty much know that a lot of these forms didn't get used because there were too many things that happened when the go live occurred. So I just wanted to make that point known. But I did enjoy all of the build up to our final project. I see how it all comes together now. I see all the puzzle pieces have been put together for me, and I got a good understanding of what all is involved in the whole process, from the conceptual idea to the actual day that the product is delivered to the client. So thank you for listening. I hope you found this insightful. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.